Hello. 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 Hello, Alex. Hello, me. Hello, anyone that might be listening. I hope you're doing well. It is Sunday. Any more obvious observations from my end? I'm quiet. I'll try to fix that. Burp. Okay, there we go. This is more closer. I can turn myself up a bit more. There we go. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Let's see. What other like obvious observations? It is the 16th of November. That means we made it over halfway through. Congratulations. I don't know what other obvious observations are there. I had food. I wasn't late. Now that's an observation. I wasn't late. I was even on time. Like, on the minute. On the dot. I didn't start exactly when it turned 9, but... I started within it being 9. Yeah, thank you. Well done. Thank you. I tried hard. No. I don't know. I see. Even though I've eaten, I'm not as tired right now, so maybe that's a good sign. So maybe we don't have to resort to standing desk today? so that I don't have to fall asleep while playing the game. I don't know what else. Again, I have no clue how people do this like for hours on end. No, I have no clue. It's getting colder. It's dark outside. And it's definitely the time of depression, which is amazing. Which, you know, probably means I should move more and like whatnot. But I really don't wanna, which is probably because of the aforementioned season. But I cannot be arsed. Hello, wolf. Hello, hello. My brother's back, so are my nieces, so now I might speak quieter, and if I have to mute myself spontaneously, it's probably because someone walked into my room. Which shouldn't happen really that often, but you know, it's a possibility that my brother comes in and like wants to ask or talk with me. Just as a heads up, my nieces usually just leave me alone, especially around this time. The youngest has to sleep and the others just keep to their room and do whatever teenage girls do. So yeah, I don't know. I think that was it. I guess I can like bring it up, even though it's like still 2 weeks away or something. End of the month. When is it? Like 28th or something like that. 29th. 29th till 6th. 6th of December, or till 5th of December, I will not be streaming probably, because I will be cat sitting for friends, and I don't want to bring my whole set. Like, I don't want to bring everything with me. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Probably just take a break from streaming. It's a week. It's not the end of the world. Just so that it has been heard by someone at least, and I do not forget. And suddenly it's like, oh, where is he? Where'd he go? Why'd he leave us? That being said, shall we just switch to the game? What am I asking? I don't care. We will just do it. You will forget immediately. Perfect. Anyways, we are her. I think her name is... No, I have actually no clue what her name is, so we will just continue and find out. So we wanted to get to our RV to like move it, and we found out, hey, it's getting ransacked and like torn apart. And then we try to sneak in, but like for some reason being invisible doesn't do shit towards the executioner. And she was like, hey, so like I could just, you know, like stake your ass and take you with me, or you just come with me. This is a formal invitation, by the way, thank you. We're like, well, how kind of you. Thanks. And we decided to come back without being staked. We're a Ravnos, by the way. We're one of the few remaining Ravnos. Meaning we kind of... Wait, what was our curse again? I forgot. Oh yeah, we cannot sleep in the same place for 2 nights. They need to be like a mile in between. Hello, Lotus. Hello, hello. And yeah, we were like apparently part of a troop, but like the leader didn't show up, so we were like, well, that sucks. So let's find out what the Camarilla wants of us. Press any button. What is any button? The place doesn't quite live up to the posh art gallery image in my mind. Sure, there's a hint of what could be... Excuse me, Basquiat? Basquiat? Something on the walls, or someone, but most of the art is either shoved aside or covered up. My instincts shift into overdrive. First up, a quick room survey. Search for... well, let's just take a general good look around, eh? Take a good look around. Oop. I might try to focus on something else, but the real show stealer is this stupid massive table, littered with papers and maps of the 5 boroughs, spotted with enigmatic markers and chess pieces. 2 particular areas are heavy with pins, though their meaning is lost on me from this distance. Vintage trunks are strewn about without a second thought, but what really grabs the eye is a lineup of wickedly curved swords, sending a faint memory of a shiver up my spine. Taking it all in, this place screams less art gallery and more war room. Step 2 practically unfolds on its own. The room's a powder keg of kindred in the middle of an intense debate. The tension is palpable, suspicion dialed up to 11. That's when their voices finally break through the walls of my focus. So I do hope that that is not Kadir. I will give him the voice of Kadir, but I hope that that's not Kadir. Wouldn't have been such an issue if we had taken action when these signs were so glaringly obvious. It is Kadir. Oh no, that long-haired hunk must be Kadir al-Azmai, the Camarilla's sheriff. I've had my fill of stories about him, but now I can put a face to the reputation. A sheriff, a kindred who maintains order within the prince's domain, often acting more as a hitman than a peacekeeper. As the Camarilla frowns upon modern ideas like due process, most executions take place without a trial or any opportunity for the accused to defend themselves. Yep. Go back. They really just changed up the looks, didn't they? If only the rest of us were blessed with your profound gift of foresight, Sheriff. Life would be a walk in the park. Allow me to emphasize our risk. That's still him. Allow me to emphasize our risks aren't limited to a single front. Acting on a gut feeling might work wonders in motion pictures. Here in the real world, it's a different story. This one's a mystery to me, but the way he's navigating the conversation is clearly a heavyweight in these parts. Spare me the pretense of ignorance, Arturo. The pattern was unmistakable. Well, over a month ago. Now. Arturo? Thomas Arturo? Shit. Reynard explicitly told me to steer clear of this guy's mess. The bickering rages on, and Valerie doesn't seem eager to reveal her catch, aka yours truly. Your playful decision, hello Hyra, hello. Your playful decision to allow the Thin Bloods to appoint Larson as their primogen raises his final death to a level that can't be casually swept under the rug, Helen. Thin-blooded or not, it throws into question our grip on the situation. Hello. That gothed out Ally McBeal? Definitely ailing Sturbridge, the Tremere Regent. The Regent is responsible for the tutelage of all other Tremères in the domain. While the Regent may not teach them personally, they must ensure all Tremere are being educated. The Regent and other duties extend to the clan's protection in the domain, and sometimes its representation on the Primogen Council. I've been curious if Reynard's operation extends into the local chantry, but he was, as always, tight-lipped about his private affairs. The chantry. A traditional name for the Tremere headquarters in a city, usually part shelter, part library, and part laboratory. What would you have me do then? Unleash our dear sheriff without adequate reconnaissance? Just in the name of haste. We can't overlook his excessive efficacy in the last skirmish, can we? Doesn't the prospect of a masquerade breach give you doesn't the prospect of a masquerade breach give you pause? Behold the Queen Bee herself, Helen Panhard, the reigning prince of Sticks Up the Ass, a Camarilla vampire who asserts territorial control within the sect's domain, be it a single borough or an entire city. Must be either impressive or cunning enough to be recognized as the leader. Alternatively, they could be just pliable, merely being puppeteered by their court during their princedom. Oh, isn't he? Oh, what? But you cannot tell me that this isn't fuck. Something with A. I'm looking for a word with A. Anarch. The Anarch dude. I figure we're all fond of keeping things the way they are. Okay, I gave him a deeper voice. I figured we're all fond of keeping things the way they are. But there's times to just sit back and think. Then there's times when you gotta step up and do something bold. This feels like it's time to make a move. An Anarch championing chaos. A revelation that somehow fails to astonish O's deemed Baron of the Bronze. He reminds me a bit of Cucumber Bandersnitch. Or am I just seeing things? Like just the face a tiny bit, maybe? Like not 100%, but like there's something about it. Also, I mean Benedict Cumberbatch, but like I embrace the fact that everyone mispronounces his name as a joke. An Baron, an informal title for the Anarch leader of a domain. How they acquire or exercise power varies by domain and groups. They may be charismatic gang leaders, brutal warlords, or an elected public representative. But a particularly distrusted type of baron is one who claim the sole seed of a whole city, like the Camarilla analog, a prince. New. But I looked at these already. Oh, Primitive Council. Did we not look at that? I'm sure we did. Oh. An Anarch Baron inside Elysium. His blinking is creeping me out. Good thing that we switched away from it. Inside Elysium. Now that's a plot twist. What's the deal here? Elysium, a place where vampires may gather without fear of harm. Court functions. In an Elysium are strictly kept apart from mortals and surrounded by secrecy. But the Elysium building itself could be a public museum, a gallery, or club. Berghain is an Anarch Elysium. The Louvre is a Camarilla Elysium. Again, for those who do not know, Berghain is a very, very well-known, scene club in Berlin. And before anyone even has the idea of asking, no, I've never been there, and no, I don't ever plan to go there. Because I think you need to stand in line for like hours, and then if your vibe isn't right, you can still get denied, and all that to go into a club with like loud music? Nah, thanks. As I continue to look around, another figure catches my eye. A young-looking woman entirely decked out in black, casually playing with a cigarette. Oh, okay, I guess this is the timeline where, we didn't run away? As her? She shoots me a brief glance, clearly picking up on my curiosity. That ancient fart in the wheelchair whispers to his servant. Who's that? Right as he's about to chime in, some lanky guy I totally missed till now decides to butt in. Who is he? My apologies, Mr. Payne, for interrupting, Mr. Payne, but it appears Miss Duval has brought forth the issue you mentioned earlier. It might be wise to ensure she's not exposed to unnecessary information. How did I overlook this guy? He's all limbs and quirks, playing with some old ring on his finger. He sticks out in his upscale bunch like a sore thumb. Is my mojo on vacation or what? Yes, thank you. Thank you for that screwed observation, Caitiff. Caitiffs are vampires without a clan. Distrusted by their peers, they are scorned because of their lack of lineage, but also feared for their unpredictability, jacks of all trades, but masters of none. Each pander makes their own way in the society of the damned, free from both ancestry and expectations. Monikers the clanless, panders, orphans, trash, scum, freestyler, wicker wicker microphone. Sorry, that was an old reference. And I'm sorry if you get it. She hurls those words like she's spitting venom. Whatever the opposite of sympathy is, she's brimming with it. Wait, Caitiff? Esteemed counsel, I give you the troublesome ravenous neonate. I gather you all desire a swift resolution of this matter. Neonate, a young kindred recently embraced but released from their sire's protection. Especially given her reluctance to cooperate. What do you mean? I came with you, no? As if on cue, every eye shifts to me. I'm not one to buckle under stage fright, but this silent ostracism is on a whole new level. In this room, I'm on my own. Oh, Jesus Christ. I understand the formal necessity of addressing all. This as well is my role in the matter. However, there are more pressing concerns demanding attention. Far more pressing. Shall we discard old tradition too? While we're at it, we've pirouetted around the Hudson problem for more than a year, yet progress remains as stale as our debate. Certainly a few additional moments to honor the very laws you spearhead so vigorously couldn't hurt, could they? My god, his blinking is kind of unnerving. Now I know what you mean. The Hudson is a completely different beast. As you're well aware, we need to address the locust swarm engulfing New York before Camarilla's entire framework crumbles beneath its weight. And how does this sit with you, Payne? Just last night, 2 Duskborn and a fledgling from your clan were reduced to ashes, and we're still in the dark about who's pulling the strings. Shouldn't that worry you more than policing the purity of the red market? Hang on, do these vampires even need to blink, or am I mixing up my vampire? Honestly, I don't know. I feel they might not need to, but I'm not 100% sure if it was told to Lurk because I have plenty to do. Okay, good luck, Hyra. Good luck, good luck. Good luck, good luck. You got this. Take care. Wishing you the best. Bye bye. But yeah, I'm not sure. I know that they don't have to do a lot of things, but I don't know if blinking is one of them. The old guy's servant steps forward, all awkward and rigid. In principle, I agree, Sheriff. However, should we continue to disregard even minor infractions, we broadcast a message of vulnerability. Vulnerability threatens our efforts, within and beyond our borders, efforts we plan to carry on without interruption. Once the locust swarm, as you've termed it, is eradicated. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm inclined to agree with Grams on this one. You can't simply let something like that slip through the cracks without taking proper measure. So, you've assumed the role of his advocate now. Quite the bold ascension of the ladder on your own, making, Julia. What's next on the horizon? Another hostile... Enough already. An awkward silence falls over the room, but it seems more about customs than actual respect. Guess we're all just creatures of habit, undead or alive. The sheer theatrics of the situation give me a moment to sneak a glance at... the sheriff. The sheriff's avoiding eye contact with me, which you'd typically read as weakness, but it's far from that. In fact, his eyes cold and focused. His gaze meeting mine might be the last thing I see before bidding farewell to my undead existence. Dayu! Hello, Lofty. Hello. Thank you for the head pat. But there's something deeper. He appears untamed, like a wolf in an ambush. I did end up peeking it, and I made it hit. One casualty. That's, you know, I think that's acceptable. Good job peeking. There's something deeper. He appears like a wolf in an ambush, perfectly still, yet poised to tear into anyone foolish enough to trigger his fury. When the prince finally manages to speak, her voice lacks the confidence you'd anticipate from someone at the helm. We're all here for the same reason you are, Ailing. Or am I mistaken and you forget where your loyalties lie? Even now, as she turns to me, her presence is weighed down. Not that I care, my head on the chopping block. And she's the one calling the shots on whether it stays put or rolls off. Also thinking of drawing you as a loaf? Ooh. I mean, feel free. I will not say no. I will not say definitely do it, because it feels weird to say definitely do it. But like, feel free. The choice is always yours. Now, let's put this issue to rest. Here and now, strive for brevity, Sheriff. Understood. The weight of his gaze is enough for me to lower my shoulders. Whatever comes, it's not gonna be pretty. Kali of Clan Ravnos, you stand accused of violating the New York Camarilla praxis, infringing on the tradition of hospitality, and endangering the Masquerade among other things. Hospitality, honor one another's domain. When thou comest to a foreign city, thou shalt present thyself to the one who ruleth there. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. I guess I know what my next 100k redeem is gonna be. Keeping tax on who is within the city has become difficult in the modern age of refugees and global citizens. Well, some princes erect walls or attempt to control the borders through physical, political means. Others give up on enforcing this law. Well, shit. Wait, on what grounds? Drop the act. There's a wealth of evidence on the recreational vehicle of yours, most of it confirming the suspicion we have on you've been harboring over the recent months. Petty theft from our subjects, impersonation of other kindred, lineage forgery. Need I go on? Okay, guilty, but when did they start caring? It's not like I'm the only one dipping my toes into the ocean of misdemeanors. At least they don't know about our artifact gig. How was your day? It was pretty good, I think. Like, I woke up in the afternoon, like properly woke up, had late breakfast, took a shower, played like one round of Noita before I realized, oh shit, I need to do the dishes. So I did the dishes, and then I already had to make food, effectively. Or like I prepped food. I made some food, which was a simple tomato sauce that I fancied up with some onion and garlic. And some pasta. And then we had food, and here I am. But your involvement in large-scale blood and mortal trafficking, outside our scrutiny and the jurisdiction of the circulatory system, This is obvious as it's dangerous to the stability of our domain. Large scale my ass. We hardly move anything through New York. Definitely not enough to impact their operations. Plus we're super careful. Especially with your clientele often being in direct hostility to our interest, as Primogen Payne was kind enough to confirm. Seriously? This can't be right. We always check out our lines. Well, Renarca does, but there's some twisted way to set an example. Are they playing the undead IRS? What is their game, really? Well, some might chalk this up to colossal stupidity. I'm neither so forgiving nor tolerant of fraudsters who respect nothing but their own gain. I'm not blind to the fact that Raynar is completely MIA in this whole story. He's the big cheese, the head honcho of the entire affair, though calling it an affair might be giving it too much credit. So are you making it out like I'm the mastermind behind some global crime syndicate? This is not the time to be quiet, Raven. It is Eravnos. We read about Eravnos last time. Beep. You know what? Fuck him. I'm not going down without a fight. Not my RV, obviously. I'm not your scapegoat. Oh, or don't. Like, they're definitely, like, you cannot tell me that this is not just... Do we have characters? Hound? When did we meet him? Oh, he's a La Sombra as well. Squeaker, Rookie Huntress. Okay. We learn things about these people that we never learned before. Oh, look at that. Svi, Nosferatu, Gianni D'Angelo, Paranoid Gumshoe, a self-proclaimed detective extraordinaire with a penchant for noir dramas, a knack for getting tangled in conspiracies and more than a few unresolved issues. While he considers himself an autarkist, he uses more qualms about aligning with either of the New York City sects when it suits his interest. Crosses paths with Kali during her occasional business in the city a couple of years ago, marking the start of what might be considered a friendship, if you squint hard enough. Hound. Largely incompetent as a hound, but useful from time to time as an Elysium bouncer. He's always brooding because his embrace into the La Sombra clan took away his precious hobby, playing video games around the clock. What the fuck? Kali, dark web dealer, drifting through life from one rave to another. Oh, this is us. From one rave to another and scamming people for a living. Kali was a Ravnos through and through, long before catching the eye of Raynar Castle. Seeing her as a potential asset, he promptly embraced her almost 2 years ago. Her unique insight into human nature and access to secure dark web trading channels have been a great boon to her coterie. As the logistics expert, she ensures the merchandise, no matter how shady, ends up in the right hands. However, with her sire's mysterious disappearance, Kali must learn how to swim in uncharted waters instead of simply relying on her gifts and Lady Luck's smile. Squeaker. Rookie Huntress, loud, boisterous, and abrasive, she tries to make up for her lack of experience with her determination to follow orders, even if it means putting herself in danger. And Valerie Duval, Scourge of New York City. The figure of Valerie Duval inspires fear throughout New York City. She executes her duties with ruthless efficiency under the sheriff's orders, at times independently, when she targets the thin blood population. As a model member of the clan Ventru, she combines grace and beauty with cunning and relentless, patiently waiting the perfect moment to strike without mercy. Okay, and here's our... So we can use presence. Mind presence 1. This will not work. Not in a room with like 2 Ventrue? 1 at well, probably even 3 Ventrue, like at least 1 Tremere. Well, 1 Tremere, 1 what's the fancy pants called again? Also something with T, no? Toreador, you know, no, we're not gonna go for that. That is useless. I'm merely the chauffeur. Look, I'm just the driver, okay? What do I know? Go where I'm told, close my eyes, crank up some Flostradamus, and let whatever happens in the back of that RV happen. Oop. So, a terrible taste in music and also a complete idiot, huh? Sorry, but I've got zilch for you. No answers, and honestly, nothing to clear my name from. Out of nowhere, something pierces my mind, shredding its defenses to dust. It's like my head's been turned inside out, exposing my every thought for their amusement. I whip my head towards the source of this eerie sensation, and boom, there's Kadir. The freaking sheriff with those piercing eyes slicing through my layers of BS like it's cake. I earnestly hope you're not taking me for a fool. That would be a misstep of monumental proportions, unlike anything these vaults have witnessed. I get a glimpse of Ailing out of the corner of my eye, silently mouthing words that look suspiciously like, I beg to differ. Alright then. A curved sword appears in Kadir's hand, as though he just pulled it straight from thin air. Or maybe I'm just going nuts. Honestly, I'd be totally shitting my pants right now if that part of me wasn't offline. I'm not here for your games, little raven. Choose your next words carefully. I'd argue this utter lunacy clears her of charges. She couldn't even cobble together a feasible story, much less orchestrate clandestine trading of this magnitude. And yarn spinning is supposed to be your client's forte, isn't it? Last chance, my dear. Is there anything of substance you wish to add? Holy shit, this can't be really happening, right? What's my move? What would Reynard do? Reynard, if he had the decency to pop up or at least toss me a fucking heads up, wouldn't be knee deep in this disaster. Is he really in trouble, or what if he bailed on me? Got a hint the Camarilla was breathing down his neck and decided I'm the perfect scapegoat. No, that doesn't sound like him. But why target me and not Reynard? Sure, he's gone now, but could they really be that clueless about him? I'm totally lost, but I do know what he would probably do. His move would be to look out for number 1. Spill the beans. More than necessary to buy some time. Time is gold, and with enough of it, maybe there's a chance to wiggle out of this mess. It's all or nothing now. Hit the jackpot or end up porcupined with stakes. Guess there's not much point in playing dumb, huh? Couldn't agree more. Game on. Alright then. So I indeed am tangled up in this little blood trafficking operation, playing a pretty crucial part if I do say so myself, though I guess not everyone's on board with that assessment. I do the logistics, pushing merchandise through a series of dark web channels. Every eyebrow in the room goes up, except for the cigarette aficionado in the back, who lets out a slight smirk. I mean, a little controlled drama never hurts in a short con. All totally secure and anonymous. No slips about, you know, our thing. Everything masked by the hustle of more mundane black markets. Nowhere we're blowing the masquerade. We deal in stored blood, as you might have caught on. Not just any blood, though. Our merch is a little jazzed up. Thaumaturgically enhanced, to be exact. It's the only way they'd work, as well as you're well aware. I am, but that's not for you to find out. Right, of course. Oh, and we also deal in, let's just call them family treasures. But honestly, that's more like a side gig than anything serious. But we're extremely careful about picking our clients and really thorough when it comes to making deals. You know, the traditions and all. I was sure we'd never even come close to breaking them. At least, that's what he led me to believe. I had a hunch there were some dodgy dealings in his more secret ventures. To deny that would be flat out lie. But let's be real. I'm way outside the inner circle to be a real sway in those parts of Enterprise. For a brief moment, an uneasy silence sweeps over the room. Is Enterprise? Is this a joke? Exactly who is this he you're referring to? I give it my all to appear as blameless as possible. I presumed you knew it was my sire who's masterminding it all. The room's heavy silence is soon filled with hushed whispers, following my revelation. Good. If fortune's on my side, I might just live to see another moonrise. Indeed, how fortuitous. And your sire would be? There's only one other notable rogue in the city who comes to mind. Someone dipping in and out, known for their shifty nature, of which I was somewhat aware. Raynar Castle. You know, Chief? Sir. Let me pour myself something to drink. I'm still pouring. Please hold the line. Another brief moment of silence gets interrupted by the girl in black, who dresses the sheriff. I can practically hear the cogs turning in your head, Kadir. What's your take on it? Truth be told, it does add up, though. I have impacted more as a con artist than a trafficker. Then why hasn't he been apprehended, Sheriff? Are you secretly endorsing activities that impede the circulatory system's operations? For your own good, Payne, I'll pretend I didn't catch that. Or would you care to question my dedication to our cause again? Be warned, my patience wears extremely thin these nights. Can we put this bickering on hold, at least for the moment? An opportunity staring me in the face. How could I resist squeezing myself right into it? I don't know why, but like, I feel in this case she definitely would be like, da 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 da. Opportunity spotted. Action taken. One more thing, Raynor and I had a meeting lined up with a client a few hours back, but he never showed up. In the whole year and a half I've been in his gig, he's never just vanished like this. And what do you make of it? Now, with the floodgates of truth wide open, it's time to dive into the art of lying my ass off. To be honest, I'm not sure, but now that I think of it, he's changed over the past months. Become a lot more erratic than usual. Ready for my theory? I'm pretty sure he caught wind of your lot and decided to feed me to the flames. Well, he made a run for it. Whether they're swallowing my story or they're just tired of my presence, it feels like I'm nudging things the way I want them. Not everyone's convinced, though. An unwitting pawn betrayed by your master. A likely story, suitable for the stage indeed, but in this context, if I may. Damn, Patrick, don't go getting yourself into. Baron's warning arrives a bit too late. Instantly the others shift their focus, fixing their eyes on the caitiff with unmistakable hostility. It's clear they're not exactly fond of him. Since you're already disrupted the proceedings, you might as well say your piece, mediator. Very well then. I'm inclined to believe her, at least in the aspect most significant in to the interests of our allies. Thanks, you mysterious weirdo. As ever, your assertion remains devoid of substance. My guy's advice is pretty much always on point. This track record speaks for itself. The sheriff has a point that seems to hold water. Resire must just be the one at fault. She's essentially a non-entity, is she not? Nobody that slipped under the radar until, by a stroke of sheer bad luck, she got caught red-handed. To excuse the pun. When you give it another look, the evidence you have collected should indeed back up that claim quite convincingly. And what grounds your intricate evaluation precisely? My judgment is shaped by your vast experience and simply tempered by reasoning and intuition. It changes little regarding the consequences she must face for her complicity in her sire's crimes. It's do or die. How about I serve you Raynor's head on a silver platter in exchange for mine, unscathed, on my shoulder? But your stare pins me under silent disapproval, but it lets me, as the curly-haired asshole puts it, spin my yarn. I know all his secret spots in this town, plus the spots he wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm wired into his network, his contacts. I've got his playbook down, and I can stay one step ahead of him with ease. Just give me a chance, and we all will be thanking our lucky stars by the end. They slip into a quite introspective, or maybe they're just playing a round of mental chess, trying to read each other's minds without uttering a word. I have reservations about this daring proposition. Consider the potential fallout if this entire situation spirals out of control. Kadia throws up his hand, clearly overdealing with my case. Capturing this whelp proved hardly a challenge. I wouldn't sweat the idea of catching her again. What's more, entrusting her with castles resolves two issues at once. It swiftly eliminates her presence, and enables us to prioritize genuine concerns. But someone has to keep a constant watch over her. Valerie, perhaps one of yours? A batshit crazy idea bursts into my mind. kind of gamble that could either turn out brilliant or spectacularly implode. At the dice roll. How about him? I jabbed my finger towards the quiet caitiff. Padraig? Was it? His expression shifts to one of utter confusion as he catches the subtle smirk of the council members. Surely you're not considering... This could play out quite favorably, I must admit. Quite favorably indeed. I jab my finger. Yo, hello Jim. How's it going? Holy shit, it actually worked. Me, most times I do stupid shit. How's it going? How have you been? I hope you're doing well. Wait. ¿Cómo está? 10 out of 10 Spanish. Doing fine? That's good. Very well. Padraig Conroy, I hereby appoint you as the agent caretaker for this Ravenous unit. Estoy bien? Whee! I understand that. Thanks for asking. Of course. Always. For this Ravenous neonate. By the way, we're a Ravnos in this one, but there's also a second character, which we will probably, unless the ending is really dissatisfactory, like, probably play as well of our second run. I hate to break it to you, Sheriff, but this call's out. This call is out of your turf. He's with us Anarchs, and you know it well enough. Technically, when he took on the whole peacemaker role for our cliques, he acquired a level of neutrality, so yeah. Kadir redirects his gaze to the caitiff. Your responsibility is to ensure she fulfills the assignment within 4 nights, starting now. Any slip-ups on her end will reflect on your record as well, though we have an understanding. Damn, they really don't like giving any time, don't they? 4 nights. Not a whole lot, but better than nothing. Padraig resigned's nod mirrors exactly how I feel. Now, back to where we were. The sudden disinterest in me is a clear get out of here signal. Seems like I've managed to slide from one pit into another. But hey, I've bought myself a little time, and in my world, that's a precious currency. Unless, of course, that caitiff turns out to be a wild card. I've brought myself some time to find Reynard and scram out of the city before the Camarilla catches on. The only trouble is this caitiff tick clinging to my back, which, honestly, is kind of my own fault. I need to figure out how to shake him off. We might not need air to nourish our vitae, but I still let out a sigh of relief when the doors to Elysium slammed shut behind us. Talk about a crew of entitled assholes holed up in their ivory towers, sneering at Kinra just scraping by to make dead ends meet. Hope they get a nice sharp stick to the foot. Hey, it's all good. My golden words and silver tongue managed to buy me some time to find Reynard and get the hell out of Dodge before those clowns catch on that we've already hit the west coast. The only hiccup for now is... keep in mind that face. Keep making that face at me and it might just stick that way. Shut your eyes and trust me then. Quit staring for good. Well, shut your eyes and trust me then. Then maybe it's time you shut your eyes, pal. And let me navigate us to our destination. Just give it a 10 count before peeping. I would rather we didn't. He pauses mid-sentence. Actually, on second thought, it might just top the chart as the worst suggestion I've been privy to tonight. Believe me, it has some heavy competition. Don't worry, there's more to come. I haven't played my final card yet. Stay optimistic. I well around his exasperated sigh, chasing after me. Be what may, this caitiff tick's gotta go. Look, the sun is about to rise. We can pick up this little dance of ours again tomorrow night, okay? Let's get moving. My haven isn't even part of this town. Haven, the place where a vampire resides during the day. Hold up, what do you mean your haven? Okay, alright, hear me out. I get that this whole thing is a bit of a pain for the both of us. Just me. I have no more desire to mind you than you have to be minded. But let's rewind for a second. You were the one who picked me out at Elysium and got us both into this mess. If I let you out of my sight, things will get proper unpleasant for me. And believe me, I'm speaking from experience. But you will be torn to shreds by Kadir's hounds before you could say, oops. They'll sniff you out, sooner rather than later. That's a stone fact called hounds. A deputy subordinate directly to the sheriff. So, now that we skip the theatrics and you tag along to a place where I know it's safe, we can regroup and figure out our next move come nightfall. He stops mid-sentence, fingers crossed for whatever is the kindred version of a stroke. Maybe I could slip away and get to my RV? No, your RV is completely off the table. My RV is just fine. My RV is just fine. Excuse me. The fuck's wrong with my RV? Valerie took her sweet time, turning it inside out. Plus, the spot you chose for parking isn't exactly the epitome of safety, putting it mildly. It's a fortress on wheels, steel shutters and everything. It's kept me from turning to ash so far, hasn't it? What does its parking spot suddenly matter? Believe me, these nights, location is everything. He stays silent for a moment, likely thinking he's gained the upper hand in a verbal spar. So counted as my win. Nevertheless, he starts yapping again soon after. In any case, we need a place to rest, and my haven is the safest choice. I'd really hate to resort to violence, but don't presume I won't drag you there if the need arises. It's your call. Every time I don't get a say, it somehow turns out to be my call. Come on. What do you think I'll do? Run away? Obviously. Oh, ye of little faith, would I try to bail on you on Christmas night? You sticking around might just count as true holiday miracle. And no, I don't bank on holiday miracles. If you're under the impression I'll let you out of my sight, then you are not paying attention. Come, let's not dilly-dally. Dilly-dally? Did they embrace him in a Dickinson novel? Talk about charming. Alright, alright. After you. Christmas? How appropriate, right? Basically, this is, you know... I knew that, obviously. Stubborn as I am, it turns out Mr. Thin and Mean over there is just as immovable. Arguing seems futile. Who's up, dilly? Dilly they dallying. Hello up and hello, hello. Did you seriously plan this? Would you believe me if I said yes? Arguing seems futile. Time for a different approach. How you doing, Open? I toss him a thoughtful glance, noticing him leisurely fiddling with one of those ugly rings adorning every conceivable part of his hand. What a jerk. My gang would eat him alive, but I can deal with him on my own just fine. All I need is a little bit of inspiration. After a quick look around, a couple of schemes start to take shape. That bouncer looks easy to fool. How about a magic trick? Let's play the hungry as hell card. Okay, the bouncer is immortal, so he will not be able to help us much. You're alright? How are we? We are doing quite, like, you know, we're doing decent. Like, certainly the, like, you know, seasonal mood swings are happening for me as well. But, you know, nothing that is not possible to be dealt with. Let's play the hungry as hell card. I spy with my little eye a handful of mortals daring to navigate the frosty streets. Many of them stagger along on the frozen sidewalks, whether from the ice or generous helpings of alcohol they've indulged in earlier. It's quite the tempting scene. I'm not exactly famished. I managed to grab a bite on the road before hitting New York, but the caitiff is in the dark about that. Honestly, I'm pretty skilled at acting the part of the hungry predator, if I do say so myself. I halt abruptly, allowing a series of convulsive twitches to seize me. What's with the drama now? I'm feeling it. I haven't fed in a bit. It's starting to get to me. I don't think I can handle it much longer. You're telling me you cannot endure for a few more hours? No. With my clan, hunger hits a bit differently. It's swift and merciless. Just how we are. Been there once, never want to go back. He shoots me a look filled with skepticism, but I just mimic a shiver, my body quaking as if I'm starved. Yeah, I'm lying alright, but he doesn't know that. Ravenous are a rare sight, practically unheard of around here, or anywhere really. So in his eyes, my performance could very well be genuine. To further my agenda, I press a hand to my temple, my eyes tracking a solitary figure puffing away in a nearby nook. Had that Valerie shank not blindsided me, I might have. Alright, enough. Just make it quick. I'll stay close just in case. Make our way towards the isolated figure. Drake positions himself to block any escape while I face our target. The guy blows out a cloud of smoke, his eyes dazed, mumbling under his breath. Sorry, pal. I lean in as if I want to give him the kiss, but instead I push him hard, sending him stumbling straight into Patrick's open arms. And just like that, the guy topples to the ground, while the caitiff somehow remains upright despite being thrown off balance. It's my cue to seize the moment and zoom away in the opposite direction, pushing my legs as fast as they'll go. I've no idea where I'm going, but solitude sounds perfect around right now. Even after everything tonight, it looks like I'm on a roll. Must be that ravenous charm working its magic. I instantly regret my choice the moment I dash into an alleyway. A dodgy crew handling crates that seem to be filled with combat gear snaps their attention towards me the moment I make my entrance, and they've seen my inhuman speed. Shit.
Caleb, look!
Oh, come on. What did I ever do to you, Lady Luck, to jinx me like that? I cannot take this guy seriously. Where did they find him? Yale? Squad, to your position. They begin to circle me, exchanging nods. It's only then I notice their tactical gear and the unmistakable outline of wooden stakes. Is this the infamous Special Affairs Division? Seriously, fuck my life. Reynard was spot on. I'm always too quick to pop the champagne. Special Affairs Division. Also called SAD, this FBI division is committed to neutralizing the kindred threat. To get their targets, SAD uses not only its influence in law enforcement, but also their extensive case files on anti-kindred activities and some finesse and detective work. Commandeered kindred assets give them impressive economic freedom from other global entities involved in what vampires call the Second Inquisition. Also, do we have more characters here? Oh, Jesus Christ, we do. Addison Payne, Ventru Primogen. Addison Payne occupies a pivotal role within the Camarilla, valued for his vast wealth, extensive connections, and unwavering adherence to tradition. Despite being unable to move or speak on his own due to his physical condition, Addison is accompanied by a devoted attendant who articulates his thoughts to others. Why are we bothering with a masquerade if the government knows about vampires? Your guess is as good as mine? Maybe because this way they have to do it secretly and not openly? Or something? I don't know. As a highly respected figure in the Ivory Tower, his contributions to Prince Panhard's agenda were significant, at least until he set his sight on seizing her title. However, some kindred question, in whispers, whether Payne is truly capable of making his own decisions, or if he is just an empty shell puppeteered by an invisible hand. Aileen Sturbridge, Tremere, High Regent of the Five Boroughs Chantry. Aileen reveals only what she wants others to know. Fiercely loyal to her clan, she remains focused on securing and strengthening the Warlock's position in New York City, even as her High Regent status wavers due to the splintering within the Tremere strata. With Prince Panhard's grip weakening, Aileen understands that influencing her may soon yield little profit. Savvy and strategic, she seeks alternatives, both within and outside the court, to achieve her goals, willing to take risks beyond common sense. Helene Panhard, Prince of New York City. The current ruler of the local Camarilla, despite her notable efforts and connections, appears to be struggling to maintain her position as the prince. Panhard is constantly on alert, carefully concealing any signs of weakness or vulnerability that could be exploited by detractors. Even the kindred expected to support her through the most difficult times favor her no longer, and are only waiting for the right moment to retract their backing. Some figures are increasingly vocal in their opposition to her leadership and actively seek to undermine her authority, especially Kadir al-Azmai, who's first in the line to deal with the fallout of her steadily slipping control. Julius Savinsky, we know that one. La Sombra Primogen. A veritable kindred powder keg. Julia combines the wits of a former journalist with the ruthlessness of a fully realized La Sombra. Oh, it must have been a while then, hey? Having recently taken her place in the council, sacrificing her lover and a good part of her humanity in the process, she is still regarded as somewhat of an outsider. Her relationship with her former mentor, Kadir al-Asmai, has grown decidedly chilly. Armed with cigarettes and a dark sense of humor, Julia finds hard to stay ahead of the eternal power struggle of the Ivory Tower. But nobody knows what the upcoming nights will bring for the young, fatalistic La Sombra. Pedrick Conroy. He's a cative mediator. A calm, nondescript presence lurking in the background of any meeting involving both the Anarchs and the Camarilla. Pedrick Conroy easily assumes the mantle of a mediator. Although disdained for his cative provenance by the Ivory Tower figures, he not only serves as peacemaker, but also acts as advisor to Torque, the Baron of the Bronze. Uptight, taciturn, and surrounded by an air of mystery, Pedrick is tasked with shadowing Kali in her search for her missing sire, all while skirting around his most private affair. Kadir al-Asmai, Sheriff of New York and a toreador. The paragon of loyalty and duty, Kadir al-Asmai has served as New York's sheriff for a few more decades than is advisable. Hello, Salo. How are you doing? Disillusioned with the fruitless bickering of the council and the indecisiveness of Prince Penart, Kadir finds it increasingly challenging to fulfill his duties. The emergence of new threats within the city, intent on dividing and conquering it or simply tearing it apart, only worsens his struggle. Even those who wish him well. How's the years ago? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I had like what like a I have like a weird like not but like uncalm, like I don't know what to call it, like weird spot in like on my neck, which like I don't know, it's like not really a cramp, but you know what I mean. I think maybe, anyways, it is okay. It just leads to like slight headache and like an annoyance. Even those who wish him well, insofar as kindred are able to, see that he is becoming increasingly ruthless, slowly but surely giving in to the beast. And you're playing a vampire game? That's mighty sus. Salo does chiropractor on you. Is Salo practicing and trained chiropractor? He's a Ventrue as well. I mean, I'm not surprised. Influential harpy. Despite the mystery veiling his machinations, Arturo's deep-seated contempt and vanity are unmistakably. Somehow I doubt that, the way you look. One of the most ambitious kindred in New York City, he exploits his influence as harpy to skillfully navigate court games, employing any measure that could benefit him in the long run. However, with the weakening position of Prince Helene Penhard, and no suitable replacement, he can easily manipulate, or to struggle to maintain his meticulously designed unlife. Then we have Torque, Baron of the Bronx, a Bruja. While Torque's heart has always been ready for a fight, the complexities of kindred politics have shifted his focus towards brokering deals rather than breaking skulls. This change has lent him a newfound air of prudence and conservatism, despite still having some clout among the less fierce licks. Torque's position as a leader weakens by the night, His previous machinations have led him to a stalemate, where he can do little more than engage in politicking. He resents that position, but the fear of losing his hard-earned gains paralyzes him from taking decisive actions. Back off, would you? This isn't going to end well for you. Shut your filthy gob, leech. He whips out a stake to compensate for his shaky tone. I'm not one for head-on combat, but it's way past the time for cunning. From the sights, now. They come at me all at once, with an attack surprisingly uncoordinated for such a well-equipped team. That disarray is the only reason I may survive this. As a flash of heat surges through me, their movements seem to slow down. I grab the first one by the arm as he swings a knife at me, driving my nails into his armpit. Everything turns a shade of red. I find disturbingly pleasant. Next, I leap and spin, taking the squeaky girl down with a kick that leaves her neck at a grotesque angle, her body crumpling to the ground. The leader waves a stake in hesitation, searching for an opening. Bring it on, you undead whore! I don't give him the chance. In an instant, I'm at his throat, tearing and ripping. His blood washes over my skin like a hot shower. It feels comforting. Oh, see, this one now is like half filled. That's probably not a good thing. As the chaos fades, there I am, perfectly unharmed, amid the carnage, swept up in the rush of victory. Tonight is definitely my night. But then reality strikes, quite literally. Knocked onto my knees and suddenly dazed, I scramble to get up. I need to get out before the caitiff catches up. As I try to rise, a kick sends me sprawling. Another thug, one that I missed, sits on top of me, stake in hand, aimed straight at my heart. I react instantly, bucking my hips and reaching for his elbow, ready to tear and rip, but I can't, and I don't have to. Suddenly, hands encircle the thug's neck, twisting it in a complete circle, reminiscing of some horror movie owl. He drops beside me, lifeless, as the caitiff casually retrieves the stake. So, hunger took you out, huh? Oh, piss off. I believe "thank you" is the phrase you're looking for. You should be glad I caught up to you so quickly. He extends his hand with grace, and there's a part of me itching to grab it, to pull at it, and literally take him down a peg, but I'll let the moment pass. The world's worn me out, and dawn's creeping up on us. I refuse his help, pushing myself up with a mix of pride and fatigue. Why don't you hold on to the stake? Consider it a memento of the time you nearly got taken out by a few hunters, and you did my intervention, a slice of humble pie, if you will. Hunters, mortals who have discovered the existence of more supernatural creatures around them, and rather than give in to desperation, decide to take action. Hunters typically work in cells, small tight-knit groups, united for protection, teamwork, or a shared cause. I tuck the stake into my belt bag, feeling more awkward about it than I care to show. For the record, I had it under control, but wait, hunters? Of course. You didn't seriously think it was the SAD, did you? That's such a chuckle, the first one I heard from him. It's out of place, I think. Do not take it personally, but if it were the SAD you were up against, you'd have been taken out before you even realized there was a threat. Thank you, Lotus, for the hat pat. They're too well organized, too professional. These guys, however... He sweeps his hand around, gesturing towards the fallen hunters. Well, they haven't quite mastered the element of surprise. Still, Running into that many in one place? I know Kadir mentioned something about a locust swarm but back in Elysium, but shit, it's more than just bad luck. Indeed, New York is nowhere near as safe or kind as it once was. This is not your typical hunter behavior. It's an anomaly, and its source is still unknown. Until we figure it out, I strongly advise against sprinting like a demented cheetah, fighting whatever within arm reach, or showing off your unique powers. For your own safety, assume you're under constant surveillance. Choose your moments wisely. The second time I'm hearing this kind of warning tonight. Maybe I should actually start paying attention. And you might want to rethink your attempts to ditch me. I might not arrive in time to save you the next time you get in trouble. The next time seems to have me all figured out. Alright, maybe sticking with you might have some benefit. Am I hearing things? Or was that a compliment? Don't let it get to your head. Don't expect a repeat. Now, about that haven of yours. My god, we're such a brat. Okay, we can risk it for the biscuit, I guess. And do the detour. Even though it has been like in New York City, you'll never know when you'll bump into the king of all douchebags, but honestly, it feels like it happens every goddamn time you step foot outside. Or we go the main quest. Part of me is like, I want to take all the side quests, but I don't know if like because the sun's about to rise. Yeah, fuck it, detour. Silence usually doesn't bother me. It's often a chance to collect my scattered thoughts, which, let's be honest, are usually all over the damn place. It can also be a big, flashy sign that I fucked up and that I gotta scramble to bounce back from the mess I made. But this kind of silence... Oh, this is some golden opportunity right here. Okay, can I just ask? Did they just leave the people there? Like, they super murdered some people. One dude got his, like, throat ripped out. Like, two other people got their, like, neck twisted in unusual ways. Do they just leave them there? Do they call, like, the vampire cleanup service? What'd they do? I assume there's some kind of vampire service. I'm getting a call from my mom. I'll be right back. Hello. um, yeah, so as I said, my mom called. She's on vacation right now, and she was like in a yappy mood and just sharing stuff, and the whole time I was like, but it's also cute. Like some of the things my mom said. So you know, and like, who am I to tell my mom like, Mom, not now, especially when she's ahead of time and it's already like midnight for her. So you just had half an hour of break with me. Anyways, shall we go back? But this kind of silence. Oh, this is some golden opportunity right here. One in which I throw in the towel. Stop giving me shit. And just enjoy watching the lanky one squirm like he's got an army of invisible fists going to town on his brain. Of course, it doesn't last, not with that oddball in the distance eyeing us. Christ. Check out that guy. Huh? That bootleg Wesley Snipes right there. Look! Just a subtle glance toward the guy, decked out in black, but the longer I stare, the more I think, oh shit. Think he's one of them? A hunter? What? Of course not. I mean, I get that the group we dealt with wasn't exactly a think tank, but out here, brought nightlight, and dressed like a walking cliche. Can they use Wesley Snipes' name like that? It's just a name, you know, and it's a reference. I don't see why they wouldn't. And it's not deformation or anything, so... He rattles it off so fast, I almost suspect he's trying to distract me. He's just a stranger in the night. Pay him no mind. Yeah, sure. My stranger danger sense, that skin-crawling sensation of an unfamiliar presence getting too close, hasn't dulled since I was embraced, and now I've got better defenses than mere pepper spray. But the way he looks at me as we cross paths is disgustingly indescribable. And then he speaks. Oh my god, it is Wesley Snipes! What is wrong with this guy? Not what I was expecting. Jeez. Oh my god. What? Excuse me? Jeez. Gee. Whew. Also, is he wearing a weird fucking cravat over his like see-through shirt? Or is this just a weird fucking blacked out tattoo over his like lower neck and upper chest? Evening, ma'am. There's something eerie about the tone of his voice. Give me 1 second. Give give me a sec. Give me a sec longer. There's something eerie about the tone of his voice. I nod automatically and shoot Pedrake a wary look. Thank you, Lofty. He signals to keep walking. Mr. Conroy, evening to you, quite the night, eh? Fuck, this isn't just some rando then. The way he drops Patrick's last name stops us in our tracks. Thank you for the hat pat. Like he's cast a binding spell. Quite the night, indeed. We're kind of in a rush, though. Oh, see, I'll be brief then. Mr. Conroy, your obligation. I'm here on behalf of our shared acquaintance, gently reminding you of what's at stake. The circumstances rapidly change, as you're aware, I'm sure. The smugness in his voice is grating enough to make me grind my teeth. But surprisingly, it's Pedrick who loses cool, not me. His tone gets abrasive, a side of him I've never seen before, but then I've known him 3 hours tops. A steak? Yeah, you wouldn't understand the reference. No, I don't. I'm well aware, and don't you worry about passing that along. I've managed without a proxy so far and don't plan on needing one now. Regrettably, that is not up to you to decide. Christ, I didn't sign up for an evening of snarky back and forth. Oh, shut up. Jesus, man. Are you gunning for MVP of the douchebag leagues? Cut it out. The M from mistake in an edit? What? Okay. This doesn't concern you, whelp. Throwing shade without even making eye contact. The urge to lay into him is stronger than my common sense. Oh, fuck. Let it go, Kali. I'm not done here, and clearly this asshole isn't either, judging by his puffed up chest. But suddenly he's all chill, like we didn't just have a moment. Enjoy the night, Mr. Conroy. Ma'am. Then he locks eyes with me. Better watch out for dingy alleys. They're crawling with vermin, as you already know. His words echo in my mind as we head towards Pedrick's safe house. At first I thought it was a threat, but now I'm not so sure. How the fuck does he know? Does gossip really spread around that quickly here? Who the hell was that? Just an old contact of mine. Nothing to worry about. Right. And how the fuck did he know about our run-ins with the hunters? Give me another second. Hello. I don't know, Kali, okay? Maybe you took a wild guess. It's not exactly a stretch to run into trouble here. Especially now. Especially with you around. He's clearly shaken by the whole thing. Intriguing. Look, I'm sorry. It's probably nothing to lose sleep over. Let's just get moving, okay? Give a nod. Not like there's much choice. With him being all jitters and no candor. Looks like my dear K2's sitting on a pile of secrets. Considering the vibe of that jackass we just dealt with, the mind reels at the possibilities. But then again, what are we if not the secrets we keep? We will start this next time. I will end early today. I'm sorry. But I do not have the mind right now to continue reading properly with the respect this game and you guys deserve. I just made popcorn. I'm sorry. I'll see if there's anyone to raid. Have a nice night, thank you. There's not really anyone to raid right now. Where you going? Away. Love y'all too. I'll just end stream.